I'm Billy Boswell, and this song is called Cardinal Sin. It's a cardinal sin to be a blue jay. Then again, everything's a sin these days. I said no to GMOs, yes to Four Locos. I'm sometimes good, but I ain't no saint. My treasure was once your trash. Seem to be going nowhere fast. In a city of bears, roaming everywhere, looking for honey pot or hidden stash. All I want is for heartbreak, stop following mistakes. I just want a little time to myself. All I want is for world peace and people to stop smoking my weed. And I guess I'll also take another round.
Will, so where are you from and how long have you lived in Austin for?
I'm from a small town in Kansas, and I've been in Austin about 9 years now. I was playing on the street and just kind of busking around, and there was a point we were playing Kansas City, and I just remember my friend looking over at me. I went from kind of just the shy, whatever I thought my voice was at the time, and I don't know if it was apathy or what, I just went for it, just didn't care anymore. And I remember my friend just being like, what was that? And it wasn't anything amazing in the sense of like, technique and everything. It was just pushing through, and it got a comfort level behind that, and I was like, that's what I need to start doing, is singing, like in my shower voice or whatever. It was a cool moment. And, it's just kind of progressed from there.
Did you start at a young age playing music?
I started at 12. I had a grandfather that, came over for Thanksgiving, let me borrow his guitar, and, taught me just kind of, just that kind of stuff, and that took me a while to get that down, and it took off from there. I had some lessons here and there, did the blues, rock, got, interested in all that stuff, and now it seems like I'm back to just that picking pattern, which is all right with me. But, yeah, it's been a while.
Who were some of your major influences growing up?
It was a lot of blues, so it would have been like a lot of B.B. King, Albert King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, obviously. There was Mississippi John Hurt with his Travis picking a lot, and obviously the Robert Johnson, John Lee Hooker thing. I was kind of going down that quite a bit, like from 14 to probably 18. So I missed my Zeppelin phase, missed my Pink Floyd phase, and I ended up picking those back up later. But then moving to Austin, obviously, again, I was a fan of Stevie Ray Vaughan, just wanted to play music, and now it's kind of turning into Todd Snider is like one of my top singer-songwriter idols that I like his wording, just his wit behind everything, and I guess guitar-wise, doing more country and just trying to learn a lot of Alan Jackson songs. So Brent Mason, because that guy's badass.
Was it music that brought you to this town?
Yep.
What was it like 9 years ago when you moved here?
Knew I'd never been here, but so it's just, I don't know, it was the biggest city I'd lived in. I was coming from Hawaii, so the music scene is obviously very different, and I just realized I wasn't going to be the Kansas kid that plays reggae, and so came here and kind of just started a band right off, he was the server at Applebee's. First place I ate here because I was craving Applebee's, and so we started a band and then kind of went to some open jams and stuff, and then played the whole 6th Street downtown, a bunch of 3-hour sets. So kind of just got in as fast as I could, a lot of covers, and then started focusing more on songwriting. But yeah, it's definitely exploded more, but still doing the same grind and having a blast with it.
What brought you out to Hawaii? What were you doing out there?
My sister had a couch, so I dropped out of college, didn't really have a direction, and just kind of want to get away, and she had a couch, like I said, and just wanted something different, check out the ocean, check out beaches, see if that's my vibe, Turns out I'm more of a mountain guy, but yeah.
Right on. Is it pretty, I've never been to Kansas. You said Kansas City or the state of Kansas?
So, yeah, just the state of Kansas.
Okay.
I'm pretty much up, like, you get on 35 and take a left by Wichita. That's it. And so it's like small town. I grew up in, like, a town of 1,000 people.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah.
So it's pretty slow compared to
Very
going
slow.
to Hawaii?
Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. Like, the culture shock, everything, just the population difference. It was a cool experience, and at that age, I was just absorbing it all in. And then getting here, even more people, it's just different placement, but still just wonderful, I will say, obviously, COVID was a downer on a lot of things, but a very big positive coming out of that and people playing more is just, it's almost kind of, I guess, I'll speak for myself. It was just a humbling experience that you kind of just resort back to, damn, I love playing. Love it, and it seems like a lot of people are on that, wave as well. And so that's a big shift that I've noticed. People just having a good time and playing, and it's the grind isn't there, it's just, let's just fucking jam. And I really enjoy that, and it seems, obviously with like Black Pumas and like, Sam Houston and even Tesmer, was going up, and so it seems more people are popping up quite a bit. Gary Clark Jr. obviously was kind of a leader on that, but that would probably be the only shift that I think I could actually kind of measure in that way. But yeah, just recently it's just been very exciting.
Do you think with that excitement there's going to be some kind of like artistic or musical renaissance coming out of the, I guess you could say, COVID era, where there's just going to be like a new rise of musicians and live music?
I hope so. I don't really know, but I definitely hope to see a lot happening, and even if a fraction of the people were actually like wood shedding and working, that's still going to be a ton. I feel like and just again, I think people were just ready just to get back to it, and just very happy, and just the positivity. I've loved it. I've loved just seeing that anybody I've come and encounter with just been positive and just happy to play.
Did you create anything new throughout quarantine, or was there like a period of time where you just creatively just like gushed new songs or new lyrics or anything like that?
Yeah, there's been I'm kind of in like a songwriting group, but that's mainly just to kind of keep going, pushing through the walls and not getting held up on a writer's block. But there have been, some of the songs, the On Fire tune, that came out of quarantine, and, it's just funny just being cooped up in a house, and it's just like, what can I do? Just trying to be productive. A lot of the times it's, whatever, I just ended up doing 14 loads of laundry, but it's, then you have the day where it's just like, I've been waiting for this for a while. You're not busy just working all the time. You actually have time to kind of focus on that. So yeah, there's been a lot of good ideas and a lot of future plans, that have come out of it, but just ready to get those rolling.
Heck yeah. What's your writing process like when it comes to songwriting?
Lately, it's just, there's never really like a template that always is, what I use, but if sometimes it'll be playing the guitar and finding a pattern. I usually resort more so to, kind of Travis picking, stuff, especially focusing more on singer-songwriter. It allows me to have something behind thinking of the words, or you could just, or write the words prior, just to like, tempos have become more important to me, which is I just find a tempo and I just kind of base on how I feel, and then I'll write around that as well.
Any memorable books throughout your lifetime?
Yes. Well, I'll just go with authors. On one very extreme edge, I love Christopher Hitchens. Agree with him? Yes, but I just love his personality on that. Malcolm Gladwell. Really dig, it started with Outliers, but then kind of going into the collection. I just really enjoy him. Yeah, that's about it, right? Fiction, lately it's been P.G. Wodehouse. I try to have a couple books going, don't get too serious, don't get, P.G. Wodehouse is just funny, just the king of similes. So that's always good.
What are some of your inspirations for songs? Is it day-to-day life stuff or past breakups or?
It seems to be more just day-to-day life stuff. I try to focus just on the conflict with oneself more so than love songs, and they can intertwine obviously, but I don't know if it was Walt Whitman or whatever. Just the story of a man's conflict with himself, to me is a very important thing to keep reflecting on and seeing, how much growth can come out of that. Yeah, and then you got to sprinkle some love songs in there. Yeah, it's been an interesting kind of journey, but now, with Cowboy Diplomacy, and I just joined Connor Stevens, that's country. So I like to, have different flavors of stuff. So it's the country guitar, really enjoy that. It's a different challenge. Rock stuff, that's kind of home, Blues would be Gasoline Boots, more so. It's just, I don't always want to keep it separate, but, it's, sometimes you wake up just, hey, really digging this, but and I'm in Bag Lady, which is kind of Americana, but just some things I enjoy being up front and singing, and sometimes I like to just focus on helping the song and just playing guitar. So I try not to get bored with whatever I do. I like to have different outlets.
What was your first time on stage like?
I was freaked out, It was good, exhilarating. It was a blast, but it was kind of freaky. But it definitely didn't make me not want to do it.
Do you still feel any of that uneasiness when you play today?
Yeah, it comes around, lightly. Obviously, it's a little bit mellow, but there's still butterflies, and I don't really know if I'd say that I'd hope for them to go away. But it's still keeps you humble, keeps you human.
No doubt, man. Do you have a memorable concert experience that kind of pushed you into this path of a musician?
I don't really know. I mean, I think the only thing would be watching, and I can't even tell you who or what was being played, but I just remember it was a guitar solo, and that was the first thing of, I obviously want to do that. I want to sonically masturbate on the stage. And then that was about it. And I think that's been a pretty driving force. And then, you do that enough and learn more, and you're like, wow, I can be a part of something creating, more than just a solo. I think it's just evolved that way. But I don't think any defining moment, created that. Maybe it was that one. Who knows?
What do you see in the future for music in this town? Do you think it'll become more corporate as it becomes more of a tech city, I guess, with Elon Musk and more people from California moving out here? Or do you think it'll still have a roots foundation in how it was in the 80s and 90s?
I don't think it'll lose its roots foundation. Because I wasn't also here, so I can't have a personal say, but as a pattern, I wouldn't see it ever being the 70s or 80s again, because usually that's just how it goes. The artists move in, build the thing, and then corporate comes. That's just a pattern. And I definitely think music's still going to be kicking out of here, hot and wild. It's going to be badass. but I don't see it being, the outlaw movement coming in, is that maybe it'll be something different, and I would love to be wrong on that. She had eyes sparkled in the night, and I drank a few, so I was feeling alright. I saw an opportunity bloom once in a pair of two blue moons. We went home and turned down the light. All I want is for heartbreak to stop following Mustangs. I just want a little time to myself. All I want is for world peace and people to stop smoking my weed. And I guess I'll also take an around